I'll take that as a yes.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. A.
Hi, Mr. A. What do you want to do? You want to do duos?
Um, yeah.
Duos? You want to do duos?
Yeah.
Mr.
Mr. A, you're
A.
gonna have to vote which
Yeah.
dance you saw was better, by the way.
I was gonna say that. That's me.
That's me,
Ha.
the better one.
Didn't get no music.
I don't care about the music. It's just a better dance. Oh, you're already up.
You can start talking.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Julian Torres, and we'll be talking about feminism. My stance on feminism is I agree with it, and I believe it is a huge problem. At first, I did not even know what side of feminism I was on. I didn't know if I was for it or against it, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. I mean, I didn't understand what it really was. And the constant battle is between superiority is very unnecessary. The only thing people saw was and cooking food when men came home from work. The standard now should be women can do anything just as good as men can. Various groups of women rallied together and petitioned because they felt their voices were not being heard and felt that in order to gain respect in co-ed organizations, they first needed to address the gender equality concerns. I strongly feel as though today we see feminism with female sportscasters. So many people argue that females should not be sportscasters because they cannot play sports with the same aggression or energy as males. ESPNW, which is ESPN Women's, did a study where real people say real comments to sportscaster Sarah Spain, and one read, "This is why we don't need female sports writers. We only need our blank sucked or food cooked." She reads these tweets every day. Wait. She reads these tweets every day, and the real men speaking these felt very uncomfortable. The CNAS and also the CNAS has now implement women in combat positions. And what I can't understand is why women can't participate in war just because they're not as strong as males. So in December of 2015, 19 women tried out for the military. And although many did not make it past the first phase, the rest completed the whole trial and received the coveted Ranger tab. And soon after, Secretary of Defense Ash Carter ordered the opening of all combat roles to women in December 2015, following a policy review by the military services. Now, for my hypothesis, I believe the only way to show more light to feminism is through the children. Adults, they've been growing up to the same conclusion since they were kids. But children have no knowledge, and I believe they can be the key to having our first woman being in office.
You know, we're supposed to have a conversation about this, right?
Oh. Sorry.
It's cool.
I kind of like it better me speaking and then you. So we have to restart again?
No, it's fine. Alright. Anyway, since I'm dead, because someone was just standing there and not doing anything.
I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing.
Okay. So, for my stance for feminism, I'm for it, but only to an extent. Because I believe that feminism right now isn't what it is when it first started, when that's no fair, you got a scar.
Like that scar.
I don't think it's the same as it was when it first started, when they were petitioning for women to be able to work, to be able to go to school, and for women's suffrage. Because then it really was important for society for women to be seen as equal in a way where they could also have a voice. But right now, a lot of the feminists that call themselves feminists, they really don't, they don't present the actual definition of feminism, which is the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes. A lot of feminists right now, they just want to be superior than men. They want to have revenge on men because of the oppression that was given to us. So it isn't really about actually being equal, but instead they want to be superior and want to have the upper hand on men. And that's what the media loves to show to the public. That's why a lot of guys, a lot of women don't think saying you're a feminist is actually really important, because they have the wrong image that the media and radical feminists are giving to the public. My hypothesis, I think, to truly reach gender equality, we must first get rid of our unconscious society where the woman has to stay home to take care of the children, even if she has a profession or anything. We've grown up in a world where if the man of the house says this, we have to follow what the man of the house says, because he's just a man and he has more authority. For example, in works, and when a woman has a position of high authority, whenever she stands up for something that she believes in, whenever she says something to do, it's usually seen as she's either on her period, she's PMSing, or she's just a witch in general. But when a man uses his authority to say something, it's seen as he has a really good character, and that he's really strong, and he's strong-willed, and he knows what he wants. I did some interviews in my family where one of my cousins, she's 38, and she's the regional manager for nursing, for old people with diseases, and she's the regional superintendent, something like that, for the whole East Coast. So she has to go up through Florida, through Georgia, and through all over the place to check up on the practice of her company. And she believes that women are still treated as a second-class citizen. In many parts of the world, women still cannot do certain things that in the U.S. we take for granted. We've come a long way, we're taking a lot of strides, but we're still not at the point where we should be in women being equal for men. There is way more, even though there's way more women in the workforce right now than there is men, the men usually still get paid more. For example, my own mother, she's the manager of the cast member restaurants. She gets paid $13.50 an hour. And the same position another person has, and he gets paid $17.50 an hour. And my mother has seniority over him because my mother's been working there for 4 years, and he's only been working there for 2. So what does that say about the government? Not just the government, everywhere. Stores. They have this image of how women are supposed to cooperate with the men just because they're the guys. Yes, the guys will be able to do stuff better than women. For example, in construction, even though there's a lot of women going to construction right now. But there's still a gap between equality, and a lot of people think it's being sexist, but no, it's just that there's an image in our heads that women aren't supposed to be aren't supposed to have such high authority over the men, because the men are the ones that are supposed to have the power. The employment rate of women in the U.S. is 54.6%, but the employment rate for men is 77.8%. That's still a huge gap, even though there's supposedly more women in the workforce, which makes no sense. Oh.
Wait, what did you said you're done?
No, I never said I'm done. Thank you.
Oh.
For each.
I'm not like
What? What did you say?
nothing. I'm not trying to like put you on the spot. But like, if you were in that time, what would you have done? I'm not trying to like embarrass you.
What?
What would you have done like
What
if
does that
you
have
had
to
to
do?
go through
Like
that?
you saying that you're not trying to embarrass me or anything.
Cause like I don't know if anybody's. Never mind. Just
What do you mean? What I've done in what time? When women couldn't vote or couldn't own properties in that time?
yeah. Like, would you have fought something like that?
I mean, if we'd grown up, like, people conform to society's norms. That's what being a human's all about. A lot of people don't stand up for what they believe in. I mean, if I would have grown up in that time, I don't know. Maybe I would just have conformed to society. Because that was the social norm. You also have to think about how during that time that was normal for people. Like when we read the story of an hour in Mr. A's class. How she was crying at the fact that she lost her husband because she didn't know what to do with them without her husband, because they lived off of their husband. They were supposed to just stay at home, maybe take care of the kids, always cook, clean. That was normal for them. And when she finally lost that, she felt a sense of worth for herself, for her own life. Like her life was actually hers, because honestly, she wasn't living a life. She was just living basically as a servant, because that's all she was. She couldn't opinionate, she couldn't say anything. She didn't have any voice in the decisions of her marriage. Like in U.S. history, we learn how almost all of the native tribes, they were all patriarchal societies. Who would go out to hunt? The men. Who would go out to find food? Who would practice? Who would make the weapons? The men. But who would stay at home, teach the kids, go into the go farm, create clothes, do pottery and all of that? Who would cook all the time? The women, because those were the societies that people were growing up in. Because just the men are stronger. The whole inequality between men and women is just because men are stronger, and that's not something, I mean, we can debate about. It's obviously the man's gonna be stronger. Maybe there's gonna be a girl that's strong as well, but it's always gonna be the man that's stronger. Like when women, what's it called? When parents divorce, who usually takes the kids? The women, because they took them in, they had them in for 9 months, so I guess it's just assumed that the woman's gonna take them, take care of it better for them. Why can't the man do the same as the woman? I talked to my other cousin, she's 37, and she was getting her master's for teaching, and she had 1 semester left, but she was pregnant, and her husband said that she had to drop out of school because she was pregnant. She had 1 semester left for her profession, for her to finally be someone in society, but she had to leave that because she was pregnant, because she had to stay at home with her child. Why can't the man do that? Why can't they take paternity leave? Why does the woman always have to take maternity leave? Answer me that. Why do you think Why does the guy never stay at home with the kids? Why is it always the girl? What's so different about us that you guys can't do? You guys, what? You guys can't cook, you guys can't clean, you guys can't change the diapers, you guys can't put them to sleep. The only difference that you guys have between staying at home is that you guys aren't gonna give them breast milk, obviously. But that's what bottles are for. That's what breast pumps are for leaving it at home so the milk is already there. So what's the difference? What makes it so special and so necessary that the woman has to stay home for the child?
I agree with what you're saying, but with the norm, but I feel like some men, not me, they feel like they get paid the more money. They feel like they do more, but that's not true because in some relationships, the woman can get paid more, and
yet she still has to go home and take care of the
yeah,
child. So you can't say it's because of the money. It's something else. It's something internal.
I think it's because of the way that we were raised, not just me, not just my dad, just as a generation, that we're supposed to be the most superior, that we can't be equal. You're right, because no, not just you in general, but the topic of that woman can't get paid more, that women do have to go on maternity, they have to take time away from what they want to do because of a kid, and the guy gets to still work. I don't think that's fair because men should have to take off the same time women do. That I know for the 9 months or whatever the maternity leave, that the first couple months or whatever, it should be the woman, but then after that, the males should go on maternity leave for a little bit of time so that the woman can get back acquainted with what they were doing. That's just my opinion. If I could do that, I would, but I don't think I can.
In 2003, 2013, there was a study where it was said that Hispanic / Latino women were paid 54% of what white men were paid in 2013. Maybe that has to do with race, but that also has to do
Wait,
with gender.
can you repeat that?
Hispanic Latino women were paid 54% of what white men were paid. Oh my god, that's totally... Yes.
I think that's more of a race, I think that's more of a race thing than feminism, but I think it still does contribute to being a girl.
I want to be an aerospace engineer when I grow up. But you know how much percent of the engineering workforce is made up of women? 14%. 14. That already gives us a disadvantage coming in to the career. You know, talking to some of my family members, it was just a random conversation that we were having, and my sister, she said, we were talking about pursuing a career and becoming someone, so staying in school and all that, and she said, and so like, I said, yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to drop my career just to stay home and because I want to be with my child. I'm going to be with my child, but I'm going to put them in a daycare or something. And I'm still going to continue with that part of my life because I want to be someone in this world. And my sister says, well, I mean, if you're choosing your job over your kids, I mean, that's on you. So it's as if a mentality that if you don't stay home with your kids, you're automatically choosing the job over your own kids just because you want to continue working and not stay at home and not just be at home with your children. That's great and all, but I don't see that as a future for everyone. I don't see that I don't see why that has to be a norm in today's society.
I'm kind of gonna go back to what you said about the aerospace being an aerospace engineer. Kind of gonna rebuttal, but why can't men have the same jobs like a doctor or nurse? Why is the norm that that's what girls do? Like,
What
I
are
want to
you
become
talking about? There's way more surgeons and doctors that are men that aren't women.
I know, but typically the norm
There's
is
people
that
that's
girls are.
they're gonna laugh when there's a guy that's a nurse, but most of the time the guy is just a nurse for now because he's still in school waiting to become a doctor. Or maybe there are guy nurses, but that's perfectly fine. But why do the men automatically get the job of management and supervision? Why do they have to have the authority? Why can't a woman have it? Why is it more strong when a guy says it than when a woman says it? This is the same exact thing. You see it at home on a daily basis too. Like I see with my nephew. Whenever my sister says something, he doesn't listen to her. But when that's a whole completely different thing because he is the man. He has the authority, but the women don't. Rebuttal that.
You kind of broke up. All I heard was, the last thing I heard was the man, what's it called? You having the authority, and then you broke up.
I forgot what I said.
If you check back the video, you keep breaking up sometimes. I can make out the rest of it.
I keep glitching, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully Mr. A heard that.
But I heard that you said rebuttal that, so I'll try to rebuttal that, hopefully.
I was talking about how the kids, like with my nephew, he always listens to his dad. Like when my sister says something, he plays around, maybe he listens, maybe he doesn't. But almost always he listens. When his dad comes in and says something, he has more authority than his mom because he's a guy, because he's a man, because we always say that the guy has the pants, he has the authority, and we have to listen.
Sometimes most of the time I can actually do that because I don't know what it is, but when my mom tells me something, I joke around, I laugh. I don't always take it seriously, but when she gets serious, I know she gets serious. But with my dad, it's a different type of feeling. It's like
You have to do it right away. You can't fool around.
yeah.
But why? Why are we brought up that way? Why do we feel like that even from a young age? Even from not knowing what feminism is, not knowing about the inequality.
That's the thing I can never understand. When I look at my mom, I like she tells me to clean my room. No kid wants to clean my room. That's just, I mean, come on, I don't want to do that. But when my dad like tells me to throw out the garbage, I always sometimes I tremble a little bit because it's like, crap, I didn't listen to him.
For example, I'm gonna quote something that you told me. You said that if your child were to ask you, why does mommy make more than you? You said that you wouldn't be able to live with yourself. Why? Because there's a norm that the man has to take care of the house, right? And that he's the man of the house. He has to do everything. He has to win. He has to get more money. So explain.
Sometimes I feel like I'm too young to understand, but I don't know, I feel like men, just like it goes one way that people think girls can't do the same thing guy does, I don't feel like guys can do many of the things that girls do, like for instance go through pregnancy, or what you said, how they always take care of the kids, but the man goes off to work. I feel like that's, in a sense, that's easier for us to do, because it's not as responsibility, because we don't want to take on that responsibility, because we don't want to fail. We feel like we can succeed at bringing home money, but if we were to, get the kid a concussion or break his arm, or he doesn't eat, starts crying, we're too scared to realize that we can't do these things on our own. But when we work, we feel as though that's what we can do, because that's what we've been raised to do. That's what our fathers taught us. That was work, to work hard. Not all our fathers, but majority. Oh, the circle's the other way. I'm going the wrong way.
We go through
By the
all.
way, Mr.
What?
No, you were saying something?
No, you can say it.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Wait, Valentina, can you click on the D-pad or whatever?
Yeah.
Mr. A, be inside of the circle, because what you were outside of the circle when you talked about Fortnite at the beginning of the year. If you're inside the circle, the purple thing won't get you. Okay, there you go. The same. Go ahead.
So we go through our own inequality at school with dress code.
Oh, yeah.
So we have to cover up all our shoulders and all that because it's distracting to the men. How come it's not? How come it's our problem that they can't keep it in their pants? How is it our problem when women get sexually harassed or catcalled in the streets because they're wearing something nice? Why is it our fault when guys start hitting on us? You're a guy, explain it.
I mean, I don't want anybody else, like, what you said, hitting on my girl. That's just, but my mom always talked to me about it. She said, if I ever saw you sagging, I would hit you, because that's stupid. My mom always said, sometimes I can't even wear a nice dress out because I can't trust men. I don't feel like they're responsible enough. I don't feel like they're mature enough.
They're
But
not.
you,
They're not.
but she says, but you, when you go out sagging, what happens, Julian? When you see somebody, when we're in the car together, and you see somebody walking by and he's sagging, girls don't approach him, do they? And I say, no. And she asked me, why is that? And I responded, I don't know. And she said, because girls are more responsible. She said the norm is that we can't wear what we want to wear, but guys can do what they choose. So she asked, if you saw a guy walking down the street right now, actually you can ask anybody this question. If you saw a guy walking down the street right now with no shirt, what would you think? And I said, I don't know, he's sweating or something. But then he said, you know how many girls would be, do you know how many guys would be staring at a girl if she had no shirt on in the middle of summer? And then I was younger, so I didn't understand it. But now that I'm almost 16, I realize how bad that really could be. Like, how so many guys would mishandle that, how they would touch her when she didn't want to be. It doesn't care who they are. They don't care who she is, but they will just pry on her because she's like new meat or something.
You're right, and then when you're in a relationship and the guy says, oh, you can't wear that. How is that fair to the girl? That we can't wear something because the guy just doesn't want you to. But yet, the guy can go around shirtless when he's hot. But we can't wear a tank top, booty shorts, sports bra when we're running. You see them?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
As a guy, of course I don't want my girl going out like that because I don't feel like I can trust the guys in our generation these days.
Really? Or is it just because if a girl wears that, she's already considered a hoe or a slut?
I don't, that's not true. To me, that's not true, but I can't answer for the rest of the guys in the world. But sometimes, I know I've made this mistake that I've judged a girl before because of what she wears and the people she's around. And then I really met her and I figured out that I was wrong. And I apologized because I shouldn't have judged her like that. And I feel like that's another problem that we have. We always judge these girls. But we shouldn't because there's more to life than you really know. Like
You.
a couple years ago on the news, I heard of a father and a little boy laughing at a girl because she bent down to pick something up and you could see her panties. And I think a lot of people heard about this. It was in newspapers and everything. And my dad and my mom, they were both in the car with me. They said, we will never raise you to be like that. So I don't want you to raise any kid of yours just like that because that's wrong. That's picking and that's just a terrible thing to see in mankind. Okay, you can continue what you're going to say.
You were talking about how it's wrong for a guy to be in the medical field or whatever, how it's laughed upon. But yet, there's an actual statistic from the Bureau of Jobs, I guess, something like that. Employment, there you go. Employment, the word employment. 48% of medical degrees are women. 47% of law degrees. 47% are from law degrees. Of all the master's degrees, it's 60% of women. And all undergraduate degrees are 60% as well. And women are 50% of the population of the United States. Yet, out of that, we could probably say half of, like 25%, are in the workforce. So you say there's a stereotype for men that when they're in the medical degree and the medical field that's frowned upon or shamed. But there's way more men in it than women.
It's kind of good to hear because that's kind of where I want to go.
What?
Kind of good to hear because it's kind of what I want to do. But still. I didn't really know all the facts. I just figured that's the stereotype because what's it called? My mom, she always she wants me to become something in the doctor field. And I think that's what every parent wants their kid to become. At first, when they're first born, that's not a bad thing. I understand it, you know. But she always she tells me sometimes she's like, "Don't be nervous." And I think, why why would I be nervous? And then I think deeper, and I'm like, just because it's a girl's field, the norm is that it's a girl's field. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean a guy can't do it. Just like people say that a girl can't do these things. So I want to know why it's weird for a guy to go in the medical field, but they still have this superiority that they can they can get more degrees. Like if the norm is that it's weird for a guy to be in the whatever in the medical field, other people shouldn't talk as though it's not important, as though that guys are getting treated different than girls are, because if we compare, no guy can really and truly say they understand what a girl feels, even in the medical field. Okay, let's go here.
There's also a problem when, like, supposedly whenever a girl is mad or moody,
Over there. Yeah. I'm listening.
that she's on her period. What's up with that? Like, I know, I can speak from experience. I hate when guys say that. I hate it. Because just because we're mad or something, that means we're on our period, or we're PMSing. But yeah, when you guys are mad, like, oh no, that's totally normal. It's just he's mad. Not that he's tripping or anything. No, he's actually mad. But with us, oh, she's just being a crazy witch because she's on her period. And I know you've said it before. You've said that to people.
Yeah.
So what sense, like, what is it? Does it give you guys like superiority over us? Does it make you guys feel better?
No, we don't always, us guys, we don't try to take responsibility, and I can understand that because I don't do it a lot. I really don't. I don't always take responsibility for what I do, the things that I say. Just like a lot of these guys in the world. But when we say those things, it's like I don't try to say it a lot because I know it's really mean. But we say it because you nobody can really judge a guy on that. You can't really judge a guy on something like that. You don't know what's going on. But you know, you can't say guys on their period because they can't. You can say a little bit on their period because it's too masculine to them. It's not seem to open up about feelings and say we have a problem and we can't discuss it because we are men. We're too strong to do that. But we don't think how strong girls have to be to go through that. So we judge them on how they act. I'm sure every guy's done it at least once or at least thought it. And I hope in the future that changes. And I know if I have my own kids, I would never ever tell them to say something like that because it's a deep impact. And I remember my mom gets really mad at it when I say it, and I know my sister does too, and I know you probably do also. And I can't think of a girl who can just laugh at when a guy says that because they have to go through this so that they can provide the kids for us in the future. I hope I'm right. I don't know how that works, but it's just a mechanism that we have, so we can't take responsibility for what we do. It's not one, the bad one, but it's the way we were all raised, we were all taught. I know especially my dad was like that. Why do you think guys don't feel like, why guys feel like girls playing video games are so, like, weird? I know I'm from the guy's perspective, so I should probably answer that, but I want to see, like, what the girls think on it. Because, I mean, you're playing a video game right now, and I bet half the people in this party, not in this, the game, are probably males, and maybe at least one of them, maybe more, are thinking, if a girl's playing this game right now, they really shouldn't be. They should be painting their nails or something.
I mean, that's just on the character of the girl. Like when I was growing up, I'm the odd one out in the family because I like sports, because I like PE, because I don't care if my nail breaks or if I get dirty or anything. That's not important to me. I mean, yeah, I'll take care of myself. Like I love doing my hair. I love having my eyebrows done. But it's not to a point where I'll be like, oh no, I can't do that because of my nails or because I'm a girl. Like I'm perfectly fine with getting down and dirty. And when I was growing up, I was the odd one out because all my family has always said is that the girls of the family were so much easier to handle than the boys. And then they're like, oh, except Valentina. And that's just because I got along way better with the boys than regular girls would. And, I mean, I never played with Barbies. I always wanted Hot Wheel cars. And I had a motorcycle collection. I wanted the Barbie dream house to be able to put my dinosaurs into the house as a fort. That wasn't me. That's just the way I am. So I guess it's just a stereotype. Like when a boy or girl is being announced, a gender reveal. What color do you? Jesus Christ! What color do you use to say it's a boy?
Blue.
What color do you use for a girl?
Pink.
Exactly. Well, why can't the girl be blue? They use the rift? I think they use the rift.
They use the rift. Yeah. They're all the same there again.
I think they're getting shut out.
Yeah. I hit one. Just hey, you know, if you ever want to get some fun, you can always play with us.
She has better things to do.
Yeah, probably.
Dude, come here, I have a start.
Keep getting rocked. I hit one, he's really low.
Oh, look on the mountain. On the mountain.
Oh wait, they're gonna fight down. Oh, okay. Come here.
That was bad.
Come over here. I have mini.
Damn it, I give you my slurp.
I'm sorry that I just want to get hit then? Okay, well, I think that guy killed both of them.
I think they're coming towards us. Come on. Go deep into the circle.
Eat those apples. And you just like. There's another one over here.
Holy
Oh
Jesus. Go,
boy.
go, 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 go.
Make like a tree and leaf. I'm seeing the wrong way. Wrong way. Whoa. No,
He
that's
has
what you
that
call
heavy
a
sniper, doesn't
tragedy.
he?
I don't think so.
Dip, come
I
on,
mean,
come
I
on, come
think
on.
so.
Go, 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 go.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I needed some shield. That's my bad. Who's that?
What's the house?
Who's that? I'm so dead.
Into the nearest house.
Oh no, that's not a sniper. That wasn't a heavy shotgun. That was a, what's it called? A normal bolt. I'll take grenades.
Oh, that's great.
No
I'm just
bandages.
standing there.
Let's go see if there's anything in the blue house. You behind me? Okay, you're gonna edit it.
People,
I
people,
think there's
people.
somebody at the. Gosh, darn it.
Go into the gas station.
We're good, Mr. A. I promise. We're a little low on health.
Holy Jesus, Juliet! Oh, that was
I'm
good.
on top of something.
Holy,
Don't
oh my
step
God, how? Juliet, where are you?
Right here, trying to run away from his trap. I was stuck on the. Okay, you can't blame me for this, okay? Gender equality, that's what we're talking about, okay? We both got rocked. The male and the female got rocked, okay?
Oh my God.
Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Okay.
What's the wage different for the WNBA to compared to NBA regular?
Oh, wait. Actually, I've seen it before. I think there hasn't been yet a female paid in the millions. But the
Wow,
lowest, but like a rookie can average from 500,000 to a couple million. And girls, their like highest paid is like 149,000.
that's crazy.
Cause what's it called? I see it on ESPN. Cause if you look on D Wade's Instagram or somebody's Instagram, he talks about it, and they made a petition that women should get paid more because D Wade gets paid about 6 million, and that's for a veteran. He's not even like the best player in the league. He's a veteran, and one of the veteran players, WNBA, her name is Skylar Diggins. She's amazing. She only gets paid about $149,000 a year.
I mean, that's not bad. They get paid better than teachers, but
Yeah, I know, but still, like, a rookie, this guy, he doesn't, some guys don't even play, and they get paid 4 years, 75 million. But a girl, I don't even think there's, I don't even know how high a
isn't
girl
there like
contract
a
is
girl coach right now?
in the NBA.
Yeah.
She's an assistant to the San Antonio Spurs.
I sure.
But yeah, I know you're talking about, she tried out for the Milwaukee Bucks job. She didn't get it though. Oh my God, there's somebody here.
Grab the fish. No!
That's just tragic.
Do you think he's had enough of us?
Yeah. How long have we been on? We went from what, 5 minutes to like 30 minutes.
It was the last one that we did because we had to do a lot of takes. It was like 7 minutes long.
Do we have to edit this, or is this good?
No, we can just post this.
Alright.
Seriously though, Mr. A, which dance is better?
You gotta vote. You gotta just tell one. Tell us both, because you can't. I can't trust her. Not because you're a girl, just I can't trust you in
Oh
general.
yeah. Why is there feminism in that?
Because you will be a meanie and try to win, and I want to win, because I want to win. I don't win many arguments against girls, because that's one thing girls have better. They win arguments. I want to win one thing in my life. Thank you.
Alright, you want to end it?
I mean, can you edit that last part out, because that sounds mean. But yeah.
No, there's no way to edit, but alright. Say
Oh,
goodbye to Mr. A.
Adios. Vote for the pumpernickel. That's my dance.
Mine is the hootenanny.
I'll see you Tuesday, 7 period, ready to work. Maybe a little tired, but I'm ready to work. I fall asleep.
Oh my god, we've been on for an hour.
No, we haven't.
51 minutes, 56 seconds.
There's no way he's gonna listen to all of that. There's no way. You think he...
Nope. He said however long, so. Peace out, Mr. A.